still the Antichrist me. Not much better them, the non-believers. Why? The player haters, I don't understand what is going on. We might as well, let's get it on. It's time to start some trouble. No time.
Okay, here I am. Finally, after a lot of little things going on, technical trouble. As always, we have technical trouble on this show. That's our middle name is Technical Trouble on the Voice of Harrisburg. Well, here I am, your host, Billy Packwood, for an hour of Pulchritude and Despair. I hope you hung around and stuck with me. Don't ask me. We always have trouble here, technical problems at the Voice of Harrisburg. Even though I'm paying for this platform. I got to have some speaks with these folks here at Spreaker Studio, and I put a notice out, event notice, and you'll see it on there. It says Spreaker Studio in California or something. And the time on here is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or something. We go at 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon Eastern Standard Time. I don't know about that Spreaker Studio thing. I don't know how that all got started. I think I clicked a button or something that I wasn't supposed to click. But anyway, here I am. I'm back. And informative shit we have for you this week. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of the show, I have an aside I picked up. This is just a WTF moment. I was listening to the Jeff K show. I don't know if you follow Jeff K. I used to read his blog a lot, the West Virginia Surf Report. Nice blog. I listened to his talk show the other day, and Jeff K's got a nice talk show. Let's put it that way. And I picked this little tidbit up from Jeff. You know, Yuengling beer is a good beer. Comes out of Pennsylvania. Great beer. I love it. When I used to drink beer, I drink Yuengling. And I did not know, I learned this through Jeff, that Yuengling beer makes ice cream. Apparently. Yep, it makes ice cream. It has no beer in it. Apparently it's only available in Pennsylvania. I guess only available in Pennsylvania. Maybe the Northeast, I guess. I guess they made it during Prohibition when they couldn't make beer. Yeah. So that's a smart business. Like that leads me to another aside. Fleischmann makes yeast. Well, that's what they did. Fleischmann used to make beer, and Fleischmann now makes yeast exclusively. They never went back to making beer. They stopped during Prohibition. Thank you, 18th Amendment. One of the greatest failures and that's one of the greatest legal failures in the history of mankind, the 18th Amendment. We still have a great failure going on right now. We're still suffering under it. Marijuana prohibition. Legalize marijuana, please. Canada did it. The United States needs to do it. Lift marijuana prohibition now. God Almighty, when are we ever going to get wise? We're finally loosening hemp. Why we ever had a prohibition on hemp is beyond me. Hemp is not the same plant as you get high from. It is in the same family but hemp has no THC in it. We used to grow it up until the Second World War. In this country, we grew hemp. We had great big farms of hemp. And then all of a sudden, in our panic to legalize or stamp out the evil weed of marijuana, we also stamped out the not evil weed hemp. Hysteria. That's what hysteria leads you to. And now we're slowly opening the door on hemp production. We're allowing hemp production now. Like, why? Why are we slow about this? Why don't we just open the friggin' door and allow people to grow hemp again? Why don't we just end the prohibition and let it and be done with that? But anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. Let's see. Maybe we ought to hear a little music after I ranted for a minute. That'd be nice instead of hearing me ramble on. Let's see. What have we got for Christmas music? Let's see. Let's see. Christmas music. I swear I brought some Christmas music. Well, here's So Long Silver Lining by the New Bomb Turks. New Bomb Turks.
I feel it, well, the night I want,
Okay, that was the Ho Ho Ho's and Deck the Halls. And before that, we heard, let me get that right, where was that? So Long Silver Lining, the New Bomb Turks. I know, So Long Silver Lining was not really a Christmas song, but it was the first thing I could grab to play for y'all, and it sounded Christmassy, and okay, it wasn't Christmassy. So I apologize, and we'll get back into Christmassy stuff in just a minute. Oh, let's see. What did I have to talk about? Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to really talk about this time was Harrisburg. And Christmas time, well, it's Christmas time, but we have at Harrisburg, we have ourselves a bona fide, genuine, I don't know what to call it. Yeah, well, I know what to call it. It's a genuine, bona fide, yeah, one of those. And add another one of those. Really strange. Murder mystery. Yeah. Let's see. December the. Wait a minute. What was that? It was just last week. This past Monday, there was a house fire over here on the 2200 block of Ellis Street. Now, the 2200 block of Ellis Street, for all you people who, well, some of you people in town who don't know, the 2200 block of Ellis Street actually runs behind the Lake Park Baptist Church. And some people kind of don't know where it is. It's I don't know, I kind of think it's the hidden part of Ellis Street. Since it runs over there sort of off, kind of out of the way. If you go up Millage Avenue, after you've turned off Broad, you will come to 2200 block of Ellis Street first. It's on the right-hand side if you're going up Millage toward Walton Way. So that's where Mr. Hubert Bailey lived. Let's be sure I got his name right here. Yeah, Mr. Hubert Bailey lived on the 2200 block of Ellis Street, and he died in a fire early Monday morning. Then they thought it was suspicious, and it turns out it was suspicious because when they found, after they did an autopsy on Mr. Bailey, he was 77 years old. They found out he actually died of blunt force trauma. So he died before the fire. So we got some murder mystery going on up there for people. And actually I heard, and I don't know if this is true, this may just be a rumor, that his niece's house caught fire in Aiken, but she got out. Now, the only other fire that was reported in Aiken about that time was a fire on Big Cone Drive on the 19th of April in Graniteville. So that was the only one that was reported. I don't know if those two are connected or not. But anyway, that may be me. That's speculation. Speculation, people. Rumor. That's rumor. I don't know. So, but I did actually, I was acquainted with Mr. Bailey back in 1981, I think. Mr. Bailey, I didn't know him by name. I just kind of knew him as that guy that ran around the neighborhood. Well, not ran around, drove around the neighborhood in a kind of an old car, trying to buy stuff. He was always trying to buy cars, but anyway, he bought a 1976 Granada from me back in 1981. And the story on that car was that I hated my 1976 Ford Granada. And Mr. Bailey caught me in a moment of pure hatred of that car. Let me tell you why I hated my 1976 Ford Granada. That was one of the first cars that had those emission. They tried the country was responding to the oil crisis, and they were also trying to respond to the pollution. They were trying to respond to two problems at once by designing these cars. Oh my God. And the design on them was absolutely horrible. They designed a catalytic converter for the engine to address the pollution problem. Well, that was the most horrible, one of the most horrible designs there was. They were feeding the emissions back into the engine to burn, so they thought, and it made the car run like I don't know what. It didn't run well. And they were trying to address the oil crisis too that we were having. 1973 was a bad year for America. The Arabs decided they weren't our friends anymore. But anyway, that's another talk for another time. So the car didn't run very well, and that car had something wrong with the steering wheel, and I think it had a recall that year in 1976. And I don't think our family ever got the recall notice, or if we did, we threw it in the trash or something, because this car had a steering wheel that had too much play in it. You drove down the road sort of going back and forth with this steering wheel. Like I said, I think it had. I looked it up online, and I think there was a safety issue with that. And I don't think our family knew about it, because we would have gone and got it fixed. Somehow there was a bearing that was gone in the steering column, and you could have got it fixed. Anyway, long story short, I hated the car, and I was having a particularly bad day the day I met Mr. Bailey. And I hated that car, and he offered me, I won't say what he offered me for it, but I sold that car right there and then to Mr. Bailey for a sum of money, which I won't discuss. And that's how I met Hubert Bailey. So I knew him, and I knew him in the neighborhood as a man who just sort of drove around, trying to buy cars, trying to buy metal. And so, he was a nice man. That's all I got to say about him. I knew he lived up on the 2200 block. I never knew exactly where. And then this happens to him. So, strange things are happening, right? Just like Bob Dylan says, strange things are happening all over the place. So, that is my story about Hubert Bailey. Now, let's see, we got to the Christmas part of the show, and I've already showed you some Christmas things. I've got to dedicate this song here to 3 young ladies, and I've already said on this show I'm not giving out anybody's last names anymore because I don't know. I'm respecting privacy. So there are 3 ukulele players in our town that I know of. I only know of 3 female ukulele players. And Gabby cuts my hair, and Jen makes a mean cup of coffee, and Katie takes care of 3 kids, and she does a real good job of that, so I hear. And she works real hard she's a hell of a handyman, and They all play ukuleles. So here's Lee Roseveare and his song, A Ukulele for Christmas, and that goes out to Gabby, Kate, and Jen.
The kids were all lined up to see old Santa Claus, to tell him what they want for Christmas, but things aren't like before because little Joey wants an Xbox and Lisa wants an iPad Air. Michael wants his videos to go viral as Santa slumps in his chair. Mary wants a Nintendo 3DS, one that's colored lime. And Santa got sad when Timmy asked for an Android, but not the robot kind. Then it was Sally's turn, and she looked at him with such a grin. Santa asked what she wanted, and this is what she said to him. I want a ukulele for Christmas to write and play my own songs. I want to be like ukulele, I can have my own sing-along. George Formby is my ukulele idol, odd for someone of my youth. But a ukulele for Christmas, it's 4 strings and the truth. Santa couldn't believe it. He said, "Don't you want a smartphone?" "No, not me," she said with glee. "I want to play just like J. Chalmers don't." Von der Leith is really neat, and Tiny Tim wasn't that bizarre. I want to do it with Jake Shimabukuro at a Tiny Desk concert at NPR. A ukulele for Christmas, to me it's more than a toy. Gadgets need upgrading, it's all a consumer ploy. But a ukulele doesn't have a battery and needs to use Wi-Fi. You just pluck the strings out, music rings with the sound of ancient Hawaii. Sally has her ukulele and she plays it all day long. And now her friends all want one, and they join together in song. I want a ukulele for Christmas to write and play my own songs. I want to be like ukulele, I can have my own sing-alongs. I want a ukulele for Christmas, to me it's more than a toy. Giving the joy of music to every girl and boy.
Well, I woke up Christmas morning, I fell out of my bed. All sorts of presents were dancing through my head. So I ran down the stairs to look under the tree, and they were piled to the ceiling as far as I can see. But I checked out every gift and thought, could it really be? Then not a single one of them was made out to me, 'cause he forgot me. Yeah, he forgot me. Yeah, he forgot me. Well, he forgot me. Well, Santa Claus, he forgot about me.
Yes, he did.
My brother got a bicycle without the training wheels, and my mom got a brand new pair of red stiletto heels. My sister got another doll to bring to 2 parties, and my dad got a wheel of his favorite cheddar cheese. Even my dog got a present for his fleas, but it looks like Santa Claus has forgotten about me, 'cause he forgot me. Yeah, he forgot me. Yeah, he forgot me. Well, he forgot me. Well, Santa Claus, he forgot about me.
Yes, he did.
How you enjoying
Okay, that was Me and Santa by Bugs and Rats. By that Bugs and Rats for Christmas. Yeah, that's great. All right, and then before that we heard, let's see, we heard, let me get to it a minute, it's down here. It's on my list. We heard Santa Claus Forgot Me by Renee Wilson. That was a great